Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the office niche. Created in December 2016, this business makes $4,928 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 44942. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Benjamin, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it is my pleasure. I'm very excited to discuss this business with you. You've got, an interesting niche going on here. But before we dive into some of the specifics and I ask you about the history of the business, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary. Again, the business was built in December of 2016, has a monthly revenue of $24,592, expenses of $19,665 to make for net profit of $4,928, which is generated on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of this business are 8 SKUs, the seller's central account, a large number of custom-built templates and SOPs, 100-plus website resources, and a list of vetted products. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Benjamin, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, definitely. So I think before this company, I had started about 10 different startups. But the key area of expertise that really developed my business acumen for this specific business is worked in corporate finance at multiple Fortune 500 companies. And I'm actually a manager of a strategy at a company now. And so the business was built differently than every other FBA business, I'd say, from the start, because luckily I had that business acumen before starting it. And the key thing there was to make sure that, all of our products were profitable rather than just a revenue generating FBA business that loses money every month.
So with that said, the business is profitable, it's going well. Why have you decided to sell it today?
Yeah. So, I've put blood, sweat, and tears into this business over the last 2 years, as I'm sure many other FBA sellers can relate to. I just started a big equity-based job at a startup here in San Francisco. My girlfriend is pregnant. We're getting married. So really right now, I don't have the time to devote to it that it deserves. There's so many growth opportunities for this business. It's just abundant. And I really want it to be in the hands of someone that has the time to dedicate to it.
Well, congrats on the baby on the way and the impending marriage. That's very exciting stuff. Looking back at this business then, something I noticed when I look at the last, 12 months for the numbers is a dip in June, but then more specifically in July. So what happened then?
Yeah. So I spoke with your guys' vetting agent about that. And this goes back to the time management thing. If you're not actively looking at your inventory month over month and placing orders that have a good lead time and all of that, that's what happens. And it creates that variable in the month over month revenue. That was due to a stock out and poor inventory management on my end. And just going back based off of that, I feel like an average month for us with all inventory in stock and no ACOS testing and PPC running well is around $35K or more. So with good management of this business, it's a $35K a month business right now. And that's not including, I'm sure we'll talk about all the additional stuff that we can do to grow the business.
You also have a branded Shopify site for the business. What's the breakdown on that? Does it provide any sort of significant revenue for the business?
It doesn't provide significant revenue, and we tried running Google AdWords and all of this other stuff to it and organic social media traffic to see that if it could drive revenue, because as we all know, the margins are higher on Shopify. I'm no expert in that area, and I think if someone they'd have a really good starting point. So the website costs, $1,000 plus to develop. Every single form is filled out, every single footer page and everything else. The one thing that it does serve as now is all of our products have a packaging insert that says, are you happy or are you sad? And register for your warranty on our website. So it does convert newsletter signups, and it also prevents poor reviews.
So looking at this, then you mentioned the paid traffic, trying to get people going to that Shopify site hasn't been going well. So do you do any sort of paid ads on Amazon?
We don't do any outside paid ads, but we do have a very robust PPC campaign.
Mm-hmm. And so large amount of your traffic then is due to the PPC. It's not organic?
No, I wouldn't say that. I said we started with really, really optimizing the PPC early on this year, and it produced like a 10 or 12K uptick month over month in sales. So, I'd still say the majority of our revenue is organic.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So you also have a trademark on the brand and you're part of Amazon's Brand Registry 2.0 program, correct?
So I believe, just to correct you on that, I believe we're part of 1.0 right now, but we do have a trademark. I'm actually just waiting for it to get mailed to our office, and then we'll be part of 2.0.
Gotcha. So as soon as you get that trademark in the mail, you will then apply for the 2.0.
Right. And I mean, just to speak on that, that's another opportunity point there, because once you have that, which, I already paid for the trademark and all of this, once you have that trademark in 2.0, you prevent anyone from listing under your SIN, and you can also run headline search ads, which I know from other people that are in this industry that have been working really well.
Do you have any other employees helping you run the business, or is it entirely you?
So I started it with my friend who's actually a WordPress developer for a big company, has a lot of digital experience, and my significant other who's been in marketing for almost a decade now. And they help me with it, but they don't own any equity. And as far as employees, I really didn't want to get into the healthcare, the benefits, and all the entitlements, especially depending on where the business is registered. So we use service providers. So no other equity holders except me.
So then detailing what those service providers do in addition to yourself, your girlfriend, fiance, soon to be wife, and then your friend, what work needs to be done to maintain the business as is?
Yeah, so as is, I think it depends on how much sweat equity you want to put into it and how automated you want it to be, right? If your full day focus is FBA businesses, then you can go as hard or as easy as you'd like. But if you'd like it to be fully automated, then there's a ton of solutions that I can offer whoever the new buyer is.
What sort of opportunities for growth for this business do you think there are? You kind of touched on it earlier, but how would you grow it if you were to keep it?
Yeah. So I think the number one thing is, we picked the office niche when starting this business, and I really still feel strongly about that to this day. And Amazon's been growing year over year in their share of online office supplies. And if you look at the trend data, it's going up, but it's going up incrementally very low compared to the sales of all office products online. So for example, Staples, Walmart, Jet all allow third-party sellers onto it, and they can all their APIs can be integrated into the back end of FBA for fulfillment. And Staples, I think, makes up like 40% of online office product sales, and their prices are absurdly higher than Amazon. So I think the biggest thing that you could do is a cross-channel strategy and really list all the products on Staples.
Is there a reason why you haven't done that already?
Yeah, time. Definitely time. Like I said, I have an equity-based startup job now with a company that has, $600 million in funding. So as far as the opportunity cost for me to put time and effort into building out a cross-channel API versus doing my job, the opportunity cost isn't there for me.
And that makes sense, especially with everything you have going on. So then if you had to quantify the number of hours that you are able to invest in the business on, say, a weekly basis, what does that look like?
Yeah, so now as far as everything being automated, keep in mind these are all incremental costs, right? Like everyone knows you can hire a logistics center in the US that will inspect all your products and put shipping labels on them and check for quality control. Or you can hire an inspector in Asia that will do that. Or you can hire a PPC management company, or you can hire someone that automates emails, right? These are all options that add to incremental cost. But as of right now, I literally do almost nothing on the business except, once in the blue moon when a customer emails out to us directly instead of just going through Amazon.
Do you feel like there are any potential risks associated with this business that a new owner should be aware of?
That's a good question. I think the biggest thing is obviously the time and effort. The good thing is I'm the type of guy that likes to put all of these processes in place. So if you're someone new to the FBA business, I'm here to help you understand the business model. I've created like hundreds of automated templates in Excel and PowerPoint and all this other stuff, ranging from supplier scorecards to an inventory ordering list or an inventory month over month depletion chart. So the good thing is if you're new to FBA, I'm happy to help you get started. But I think the biggest risk would be, not putting any effort into it.
You mentioned you're willing to help someone get started with this. What kind of support specifically are you willing to provide during the transition period?
Yeah, so I think what I've spoken to with your team and at Empire Flippers is that you guys normally do 2 Skype calls or something over a month. I think as far as the legal obligation, I'm completely fine with that. And then honestly, the new seller, afterwards, as long as it's legally okay, I'll give them my personal cell phone and we can talk all the time, and I'm happy to help.
Awesome. Are you willing to commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, of course. I don't plan to start another FBA business. I loved it, and I loved the time that I had with it, and it feels great, building something that's really valuable. And especially, the part that gets me every time is like, we take a lot of time and effort to develop our products. Like, you can't go on Alibaba or one of these sourcing sites and buy one of our products. It doesn't exist. Every single one of our products is unique and custom designed. And even if it's just a marginal difference between another product, it still takes a lot of time and effort to make it different than that product. From our packaging, from our custom retail-ready packaging, to our packaging inserts, to the actual product and the way it's designed. So it's been great, but I don't plan on starting another FBA business.
Are you open to negotiating on something like an earnout?
Right now, I don't think that structure would work well for me, but I'm open to negotiation on it, yes.
Awesome. Benjamin, thank you so much for the time today. I really appreciate it. And it really sounds like you have a business that is, just working and cementing itself in this office niche, getting found online, and you have all of these other opportunities for growth. But, given your experience with online business, why do you feel like it is a business worth buying?
Yeah, I'd say the number one thing is the barrier to entry, right? You can go and buy any commodity-based FBA business right now, or you can buy this business that has 8 SKUs that are all custom made and can't be immediately imitated. So every one of our SKUs has a barrier to entry to compete with us. We have branding, packaging, retail-ready packaging, templates. We've actually built a brand around this. We have 1,000 followers on Instagram. There's actually branding behind this. It's not thrown in a plastic bag with an FN SKU.
For sure. And that, speaks to what I was saying before on cementing yourself as one of the leading players in this niche. Benjamin, thank you so much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.